Hi, Mike Gibson coming to you live from SCAI 2017, talking with Mahmud. Live cases have been a big part of interventional cardiology in SCAI since its inception. This year is no exception. Tell us about the live cases, and then in the future in San Diego, what's going on?
Sure. So Mike, they had been for a number of years, and we had stopped doing them. So this is the first year we brought them back, and we felt very strongly that for interventional cardiology and for the practicing physician especially, this is a good way to keep them engaged and introduce new techniques, new methods, as well as watching experts get into trouble and how they get out of trouble.
Right.
And so this year we reintroduced them, and I think they've been a big hit, and we continue to plan to offer that at the SCAI 2018 meeting in San Diego and hopefully expand on them.
And where are you broadcasting from this year?
So this year we have Henry Ford in Detroit, we have Scripps Clinic in San Diego, we have the University of Washington, Seattle, and Honor Health from Scottsdale, Arizona as the four places.
And some high complexity cases coming out of Henry Ford, is that what we're
seeing? What we did is we actually did a very broad, comprehensive approach to this. So we have structural cases coming out of both Scripps as well as Honor Health and University of Washington. We have some very complex cases coming out of Henry Ford, Scripps.
And Seattle doing a lot
Seattle
of CTOs.
Right. So we really wanted to make it so it's broad and comprehensive. So we have CTO revascularization, left main revascularization. We have TAVR, both approaches, balloon expandable, self-expanding, MitraClip, left ear Watchman. So we really wanted to make sure that it was broad and representative of all the things we do in the field.
Yeah, that's great. And talk to me about the ethics of the live cases. I mean, it's always been a big debate about, is it ethical to do this? Is this showmanship, or is this really to the benefit of the patient? Where has SCAI come down in that debate?
So I think there are data now showing that as far as patient outcomes are concerned, they are not adversely affected. I think it's a very important question, and it's our responsibility, the individual operator as well as SCAI, to make sure that people stay and demonstrate good ethical and decision making. And I would say nothing better than one of the cases that was shown by Paul Tierstein this morning, where it was a distal left main trifurcation lesion that he was initially planning to intervene upon. And live on angiography, it appeared that some of the lesions were more intermediate, and he sequentially did FFR, did IVUS, did that for the right coronary, and ultimately we were able to see together, he gathered all the data, and we all as a panel made the decision that medical therapy was the optimal strategy, and that's what we did.
Wow, that's very impressive.
So I would say
it's a very brave choice at this meeting. That's good to see.
It is. So I think that it highlights to the audience that even expert centers and expert operators have sometimes difficult or decisions to make and on the table, and you might come in with plan A and you modify it, and so we want to demonstrate that as well.
That's great. Well, I'm glad you brought them back. I think they're very, very educational, and you know, you're right, there's nothing like thinking, boy, I'm glad that's not me today in that case, but that's where you get a lot of your best learning, is in the case-based approach.
We would agree, and I think we'll continue to do that next year as well.
But thanks for joining us today, Shami, and thanks to all of you for joining us here live from SCAI 2017.